Well, I think that takes us into our next match. How about it? North California versus New York. This is Seed 1 versus Seed 8. Ches Bananas, Fiery Rage, Jackson, Woodchi, Gerbsy, and Trail Mix versus Taquito, Flash Official, Junjo, Opixe, Karyu, and Honbei. Taquito now known as Von Lycion. I don't know how to
don't
pronounce
care.
that.
He's still Taquito.
Yeah.
Do not care. I think, New York was in an interesting spot. They gave up a couple points to Tennessee in their first match. They only beat Virginia 5-3 despite this year's iteration of Virginia being extremely nerfed compared to past years. But they're still here, made it through those couple matches. Taquito, obviously the big carry for their team. They've kind of changed up the roster a little bit. No Chaos Raids this year, no Toki. A little bit different on that side. NorCal, though, I mean, looking quite different as well, right? You bring in, this like super highly ranked solo players who don't have a ton of tournament history with like Jackson, Woodsey, and Gerbsy, who are great players, but not as much known for tournament performance compared to like previous NorCals where they had, Ches and Fiery and Toy. But they looked good in their first couple of matches, and their skill cap is super high. So I think I would say that NorCal are the favorites in this match, but clearly from our previous match, favorites on paper doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, definitely not. I don't know. iFlame, what are your thoughts on the New York lineup? Because I have my own thoughts, but I am interested to hear kind of the expectations about this New York lineup, because I think some of their players are deceptively strong, but haven't had a lot of chances to show off.
I do think Taquito is obviously going to be the big carry on the side of New York. I do think a lot of their other players are a little bit underrated, but should be pretty consistent. I do think they tend to have more consistent players, but they don't really have as many players that are going to pop off and solo carry a map. We do not see the warm-up, by the way.
We do not see the warm-up. Why do we not see the warm-up?
Got a nice green screen instead.
Wonderful green screen. It's okay, you're not missing much.
It's full screen back and forth jumps. There's not a lot going on here.
You are really not missing much.
Dio having tourney client problems?
There you go.
Fixed now.
And apparently, Florida, their best placement was top 6 back in 2018.
Washington?
So they are Washington, yes, they are guaranteed to at least match that this year.
You know what? I'm okay with this warm-up. This warm-up is a real song instead of Fall Guys music. So
yeah, listening to this song through band phase is like not the worst thing in the world.
We do love Katy Perry.
We stan a queen. And I don't think that... I don't know if New York is going to have a warm-up or not.
I don't believe they
Taquito said we're good, but then Flash Show said, did we lose warm-up? So I don't know what they're doing. So I don't know if we're going to have another war or not.
I don't believe so. I'm hoping we get a bit of a different match this time around. Hope we get some different songs. Personally looking forward to Kakuse. Looking forward to seeing Nomad 4 get picked ever, actually. Has that been picked this weekend?
Yeah, it got picked once. Texas picked it last as the last map against Oregon, and Apraxia said this one's for your welcome stats team. Because it was at a 0% pick rate until that point, but they finally decided to throw us a bone and go ahead and pick Nomad 4. But I mean, Taquito's a Nomad 4 player, but I still don't think we're probably going to see it because nobody likes the map, and I don't think a lot of people like the song either.
No, and I think if we were to see a Nomad 4, New York would be the team to do it, top scoring Nomad 4 last week. Meanwhile, we do have a Nomad 2 ban out of New York here. And I do think we are going to be seeing some different picks in this matchup. New York has been going towards those hard rocks, which you haven't seen too often from a lot of other teams. Whereas NorCal has been going more towards those DTs and those FMs.
That is... Who bans Hidden 1?
Yeah, it's a really unusual ban. I feel like if you're gonna ban a consistency map, most teams are gonna ban the coin flip no mod 1. But HD won this time around, as well as the no mod 4, so we are not gonna be seeing that, guaranteed.
Man. I mean, I get it, because New York has a pretty good no mod 4 roster, but I'm sad that we just don't get, that map just doesn't get to exist.
We are going to be banning out the DT speed map as well, so I wonder if that potentially opens up some of the other speed picks for.
That's not
That's not speed.
That's not the speed. That's DT3 is the like DT3 is the old DT. Yeah.
Oh, you're right. I'm thinking of DT2.
You're thinking of DT2? Yeah. So DT3 just that's like old gimmick, which I mean, if you ban, I don't. That was the only map that he was gonna play, right? Was gonna be DT3 because he has setup issues.
Oh yeah, Fiery is like traveling right now, right? He's in Chicago or something.
Yeah, something along those lines.
So bad setup for Fiery. That potentially means NorCal just picks into like Woodchi, Gerbsy, and Jackson, right? Picks into their speed players, picks a lot of speed. But they are going to go for Fremont 1 as their first pick. I suppose that's like speed adjacent, kind of. It's like the speed, consistency, awkward stuff.
Yeah, this is. I mean, if you're against a, like, I don't know what to think about this pick ever, because I don't know what the intent is as a first pick. It's not raw aim to where you're picking it into a team that's bad at aim, but it's not like tapping to where you're picking it against a team that's bad at tapping. So it's just like it's just saying we're better at free mod consistency. I don't know, the strategy behind this map eludes me.
Yeah, I do think it is a bit of an unusual first pick. This is the kind of map though that we might see some comfort hidden hard rock on, because I do feel like with the hard rock hidden is fairly straightforward.
We've got Trail, Ches, Woodsea.
Seems like a hidden for Ches, hidden hard rock for Trail, or hard rock for Trail.
Yeah,
I'm not
I
sure.
think it could be either.
Could potentially be hard rock for Woodchi also, and just no mod for either Trail or Ches. I'm not sure exactly.
Well, I think Ches has to be hidden, and then Trail is hidden hard rock. He's a hidden hard rock main, so that's not surprising. Hidden on Taquito. I know everyone is shocked as I am to see that happen. Junjo hard rock, Hanbei no mod. No real surprise there. I think that's. I mean, I don't really know a lot about some of the fill players for New York, but obviously Taquito hidden and Junjo hard rock is pretty straightforward. And then we go to the first map of our second match.
Yeah, and because of how long the map is, where the misses are is going to be very important. Obviously, do not want to be breaking in the middle of the map, whereas any early misses aren't going to matter nearly as much. And it looks like Junju can be finding the first miss here. Not too far behind, though. Only 200 combo, and so that score is going to go in NorCal's favor, but not by too much.
Yeah, this is such a long map.
It is. Accuracy going to be keeping it close as well. And Junju did find another miss, though. Struggling a little bit on this hard rock.
Ches traded it right back on hidden, so fortunately for New York, it's not like NorCal is going to be able to jump out ahead based on the Junjo struggles. Hanbei, though, is the next to miss, so that's a double FC on Trail and Woodsea against just Taquito for New York. Gonna have their work cut out for them a little bit to try to recover, but that's gonna help. There goes Trail Mix. So we're just not seeing a lot of FCs and a lot of big combos on this one. It's Taquito and Woodsea is the only FCs left.
Yeah, and keep in mind, Taquito's FC on that hidden is going to be worth a little bit more with that multiplier, and we are getting a quarter of the way into the map now where these misses are really going to start to make a big score difference. If you drop that full combo, Junju now recovering really nicely along with Ches.
Yeah, Humbe has a little bit of better combo than Trail Mix, so this should actually slowly go over towards New York, both with the hidden full combo for Taquito over the Nomad on Wuchi and the extra combo for Honbei here over Trail Mix. Eventually that score is going to hit a little bit larger for Honbei. Waiting on another Ki time basically for either of these teams to find another set of misses, and here it goes. This is where you find a lot of the misses in this map. It's where the aim and stream requirement gets as large as it does in the whole map.
Yeah, but everybody's just going to try to prove you wrong here. Everybody holding pretty well. And they get into the break at the two-thirds mark. It's a 13,000 point lead for NorCal as we're about to head into the kind of awkward rhythm stream section.
It's still anyone's match. Any break will flip the score bar over instantly. Last quarter of the map now. And if you do find a miss, there's not much time left to recover.
Well, you could also just take the other route and not miss, but it's Trail Mix. That's a big combo lead now for New York to try to bring this back over. But Junjo follows it up as Trail Mix breaks again. So it's the slightest of combo leads to NorCal. And it's hidden and Nomad.
I don't know that the combo advantage will be enough to bring this score back. It looks like it's going to come down to the accuracies for now, as long as we don't see any more misses.
Yeah, this is going to be very, very tight. Obviously, Taquito having the hidden FC is really helping out New York. That score bonus does enough to keep them in front, but it's going to be so tight. It could come down to just hundreds in the end, as we've seen happen on this map at least one time. It goes over to NorCal, but it still could just come down to accuracy. Junjo breaks a ton of back, but there goes Taquito's FC, and NorCal is just going to take it off of that miss.
It was looking so good for New York until that miss from Taquito at the end there. If he FC'd, this would have been extremely close. They could have potentially taken the break point, and we could have again started off with the upset narrative. It's still a very close map. That is just over 100,000 score lead, 136,000 for North California on that map. Wuchi finishing out the FC, doing quite a lot there. Taquito's still at 930k, even despite the miss. So a lot of the score lead coming from the supporting scores there. And we already have our next pick, gentlemen. It is Ding, the next pick for New York. First picked basically immediately for New York. I think largely playing into the reading from Taquito. Potentially also knowing that Fiery is not on a good setup and probably not as comfortable on a map like this as he usually would be. New York almost certainly fielding Taquito. I think from there, probably I would be surprised to see Flasho stay in. I know him as a high approach rate reading player, not as a low approach rate reading player. Potentially looking at like Opixe, Junjo, and Honbei to fill the gaps there. I don't think Karyu or Flasho stay in for this, but I might be proven wrong by Flasho staying in right now.
Surely not.
Okay. It looks like Flasho is going to be staying in. Good luck, have fun's in the chat. The lineups are going to be locked in.
Okay. Well, this is, I mean, you picked this as New York because you have Taquito.
Yeah,
pretty
absolutely.
much. This is the Taquito map.
But it's one of those like SoCal situations where Taquito is kind of playing the role of like Utami, where he's probably going to get a really good score, but it's up to the rest of the team to do well enough to match whatever the opposing team does. And I don't know what to expect out of Flasho and Junjo on an area hidden, to be honest. And Flasho breaking in the first 10 combo is not the greatest thing in the world to see.
And Junjo going to follow it right up. Really not what you want to see out of New York. And the chain misses are beginning. It is going to be 3 FCs to 1 for now. Still very early, of course. So if those two players can recover, they should be okay. But they need to stop the chain misses. Ultimately, we know NorCal has players that are capable of playing these HDs too, and so New York is going to need the supporting combos as well if they want to take this point.
Yeah, I mean, even on a not great setup, Fiery should be able to play this map okay. It's not like a super intense one, and Chessman I think is a very underrated, like, hidden player in general. He's usually really solid on a lot of these picks. Trail Mix, actually the top scorer on their team thus far. Yes. Very good.
Well, the hard part is coming up soon. We are about to enter the vocal section. Lots of similar spacing with very dissimilar timing coming up in that part. If Ches and Fiery miss anywhere, it's probably in this part right here. Same goes for Taquito, though, and if he misses, it is all over for New York. It's almost expected that Junjo and Flasho, with the troubles that they've had, will miss. Junjo and Fiery will trade some misses there. Ches still holding. Flasho still holding. There goes Ches. And that is now the only FC is Taquito. So
there goes Flasho again.
But I don't think it matters because Taquito was able to hold, and as opposed to what happened with SoCal, where, you know, Tommy was not enough, the rest of the team did matter. I don't think it matters here for New York. Taquito is probably going to be able to solo carry this, as even though Trailmix made it through that section with combo intact, there is a much bigger combo on Taquito with that FC.
As the combos are so small on NorCal, as long as Taquito can hold, there's just no chance NorCal comes back, especially with the break from Fiery Miss there, or Fire Rage.
This is just all on Taquito's tablet right now. If he FCs, they win, and if he breaks, they may well instantly lose. But they do finally take the lead back, and he is looking as comfortable as you would expect a player like him to on this map.
Shay found another miss, so actually, even if Taquito breaks now, it's too late for this.
Ooh.
And it is going to be a miss out of Taquito.
I don't know if it matters, though, because Junjo has enough combo to hold off Trail Mix. It's so close to the end. I think this is safe for New York, but it's going to be very close with the Junjo combo compared to the Trail Mix. But there's a big chain miss from Fiery Rage. Oh, Junjo misses. Wait a second.
Trail Mix is still holding.
There's so little combo left, though. There's so
it's going
little combo
back over so slowly.
Oh my goodness.
It's
going to
Flasho. No, Ches trades it at the end.
Misses at the end.
Oh, man.
22,000 score, the margin of victory for New York there on their first pick, but they do manage to convert just barely off the back of 816k from Taquito. Good enough support from Junjo and Flasho on that map as they just barely edge that win out. And yeah, I think that win is owed entirely to Fiery being off setup, because usually you would expect him to be the player matching Taquito on a pick like that, right? He is a usually very, very good low approach rate player, but unfortunately setup debuff, making that map New York favored this time around.
Yeah, I don't think you feel too bad about that if you're NorCal, because it was your opponent's first pick and you were 22k with a player on a suboptimal setup. Like, that is saying that you are very close even on a skill set the other team expects to do really well on. So maybe a little confidence builder, just as much as you can take away from that sort of result.
Yeah, and so far throughout this tournament, NorCal has not had particularly good HD2 performances anyways, so I can't imagine this was a pick they were expecting to win. Alright, gonna be getting the DT2. This is the DT speed pick now.
Yes, we're correctly analyzing this pick this time around. It is left hand the map. Trademark. Left hand. And yeah, New York, I don't know, beyond Taquito, not a team that you really think of, especially with not having Toki on the team this year. They'll be decent, but not, I think, as good as NorCal on this type of map.
Yeah, they don't really have a speed roster. Most of their mechanics players are aim players on this roster. I know from looking at, Karyu and Flasho and Opixe and Honbei playing a bunch of other tournaments that, yeah, most of their mechanics are aim. So DT1, absolute toss-up. DT2, very NorCal favored this time around.
Who do you think is that last member for New York?
That's such a good question. I honestly have no idea. I guess it's Flasho.
I guess so, yeah. It feels like they don't really have a solid last member for this pick.
Yeah, I think this could be a little bit third player syndrome, potentially. But we'll see. It's like it's a super strong speed roster for NorCal. So your expectations for New York are going to be low, and you just come out and play pretty freely. Not really concerned about outcome, I don't think, when you know it's a skill set that favors the other team pretty heavily. You can already see, like, even right at the beginning, you got a little act drop from New York and a couple breaks. Although Gerbsy not looking great. Trades the miss with Flasho and down at 94 AC.
Yeah, really struggling on the accuracy, even below Flasho, who is the flow player here, and finding another miss now. Just cannot hold any combo whatsoever. It's going to be 2 SCs to 2 though, but Flasho is recovering nicely.
Yeah, and the accuracy is not even on the other players. I mean, Jackson has the highest AC, but Woodsy's down at 96. Meanwhile, it's 98 and 97 for Taquito and Hanbei. Flasho does find some trouble with his AC in another break, so that's going to help things out for NorCal, but it's a 40,000 point lead for New York. And a 2 FC to 2 battle with combo advantage for the third player of NorCal. So this is going to stay very close. Oh, Hanbei gets buzz slidered. Ouch.
That's a huge miss. Big FC down, but Gerbsy's accuracy continues to drop. Another miss out of Hanbei. Going to be keeping the score close for now.
Yeah, Woodgy and Jackson having FCs, though, really just kind of kills the chance of it being super close right now for New York. Even with Gerbsy finding all of these misses, it just doesn't matter because the buzz slider, unfortunately, for Hanbei is really, I think, what made this now one-sided, as if Flasho and Gerbsy just kept trading, that favors New York, because Gerbsy is just... I don't know what's going on with Gerbsy right now, but he is not having a good time with this map. Just not able to hold combo at all, or accuracy. But it just doesn't matter, because Jackson and Witchy are there to double FC at the moment, up against only the FC from Taquito.
And they look so comfortable on this pick. Accuracy from Jackson especially is so impressive. There's a big miss out of Jackson, actually, at 1 FC to 1. I don't think there's enough time, though. It's only about 10 seconds left in this map, and is a 300,000 score lead, so it is going to be NorCal taking their pick. Going to be up 2 to 1 here. New York with the next pick.
Yeah, that was just kind of bizarre to watch, the amount of struggles that especially Gerbsy had. I mean, NorCal made up for it with Jackson and Woodsy holding... well, Woodsy ended up with an FC with 96 AC. Jackson on that super high AC for most of it. Taquito, unheralded, ends up with the, 99 AC FC, but unfortunately, the backing score was not quite where it needed to be. And New York is going to say, all right, more hidden. You're going to ban a hidden against us. We'll just go ahead and pick the other two. So we go hidden 3, we go flow aim hidden.
Yeah, and this is starting to feel a little bit like the Taquito show. Hidden 3 is certainly going to be another map you're going to look to Taquito to put up a really strong score on here.
Another Trail, Ches, and Fiery map for NorCal. Another Taquito map for New York, but again, not really super sure exactly who joins them. Probably Junjo to come back in, given what we have already seen, especially on the low approach rate hidden. Potentially Flasho as well, given that he has played the low approach rate hidden for his team, but there might be a couple other people who are relatively comfortable on this kind of stuff also. Maybe Hanbei, maybe Opixe. Haven't seen Opixe in the lobby yet, by the way. So we will see when they join us. Not sure exactly when. We're not going to see Karyu, I don't think, until we get some Hard Rocks or some other aim picks in So largely looking at the other 5 members to fill in the roster for New York. Everyone has left from New York, so North California wins by default. Congratulations, North California.
What it always bothers me when people do this. It's just like leave for the entire duration of the timer. XD, you're so edgy.
And it's their own pick too. Like,
Yeah.
you really shouldn't need to be like checking the editor at the last
Right.
second on your own pick.
Always weird, but yeah, Juncho, Takedo, Hanbei. You know, this is a weird situation. Normally, you pick maps so that like a particular opposing player is kept out of the lobby, and New York is actively picking maps that keep an opposing player in the lobby. Like, they pick Hidden 2 so Fiery Rage comes in, and they pick Hidden 3 so Fiery Rage has to come in again. Meanwhile, NorCal is picking away from Fiery Rage because they know he's on a not great setup and is going to struggle a little bit more than he should.
Yeah, we already see a big accuracy drop out of Fire Rage early on here.
This map is not very long, but it's pretty consistent in terms of difficulty. It's only, what, 2.5 minutes long, but it's just this the entire way through. It really doesn't give you anything that's super free combo. So we will see if that AC ends up mattering as we start to get into kind of the real portion of it with these finger control sections. No breaks anywhere.
Oh, but Junju is going to find that Merce miss, and that's such a big miss. NorCal is going to be taking the lead here. This is the kind of map that we've seen some very high scores on, so you could certainly see NorCal getting 1, even 2 FCs here, and Hanbei now as well. 3 FCs to 1.
NorCal gets the opportunity to take such a big lead here through this middle third of the map. New York missed at a not great time right before this slow section halfway through. Just gives NorCal more time for free combo.
Yeah, but Hanbei's was actually a Bancho miss, so it is going to be 3 FCs to 2. They're still going to be behind by quite a bit, but not quite as disastrous as the double miss.
I love Bancho misses. They're my favorite.
This adds some extra anticipation.
It just increases the drama. But now, another miss from Junjo, I believe, assuming that wasn't also Bancho. I mean, those are those slider streams. Nobody breaks on the full-length slider stream. Just Junjo on the little slider triple. And that's still NorCal advantage. Only a quarter of that to go. It's a 300k lead.
At this point, they need 2 misses from NorCal for New York to be able to win this pick. There goes Ches Bananas, but Takedo and Hanbei have so much to do, and there goes Hanbei. This is not going to be the win at all for New York. NorCal getting the break point and putting themselves up 3-1 by the end of this map. Looking really good despite Fiery Rage being on a bad setup, still able to pull out what may as well be a full combo at this point.
Let's see. Gonna close it? Yep. All right. That's a really good team score from NorCal. That was very, very well done for Trail and Fiery. And Ches with the 754k S rank as well. No, there were 5 S ranks despite only 2 FCs. Takedo doing the Takedo thing, 99.5 AC FC, and it didn't matter. Again, it's just feeling really unfortunate for him on this New York squad where he's putting up these ridiculous scores, and there are times where it just doesn't end up mattering. That's a little break point. If they can consolidate and go up 4-1, this match gets really scary for New York in a hurry.
Certainly can. I wonder if we just see the Fremont 3 pick out of NorCal here after the DT2.
Who plays speed hidden for NorCal? Because Ches is normally a hidden player for them, but I don't know that he plays speed hidden. So I don't know who would be the hidden on that if they picked it. That would be a concern.
Probably Trail. I would have to assume it's Trail next. He at least has, you know, a lot of hidden double time number ones. So even if he's not a super good speed player, he'll still be good enough on it, I feel like, to fill in the gap there for NorCal.
This could also be one of the 2 remaining DTs. Hey, would you look at that? It's going to be DT4. So we're going to go 10.3. And we're going to get the OWO greater than W, less than sliders that we all know and love from this being like the most picked map by a pretty big margin this round.
Will Junjo be in for Gunjo? That is the question.
I hope.
I would say so. I think there's a pretty good chance that New York just sticks with the same lineup here. I'm not... Okay, is a Flash Show going to be in for Hanbei? But I'm not sure who would replace Jeonju, so probably going to be in. Maybe we see Jackson and Chez is the third for NorCal.
I don't think it's Chez. I think that's Woodsy, I guess. Doesn't matter who I think it's going to be because that's who it's going to be.
There you go.
Also, I believe we are going to get a quick referee change. Current ref feeling sick, so we may or may not have a brief delay in this pick here while the new ref comes in to replace. Okay, they're going to get it going and then switch, so it'll be... Oh, wait, maybe not. Nope, it doesn't have... Okay, they didn't have 3 players. What happened? Where'd Trail go?
Who knows?
All right, well, we'll get this all sorted out and get it going. I'm not sure what happened there. But I think everything is fine, so...
Seems to be. Should be getting into the map pretty shortly.
Chromix smashed his desk and left the lobby. Why would you smash your desk? What were you smashing your desk for? Like, what happened?
You know, you gotta give yourself like a good luck desk smash before every map.
Trail's literally rank 1 on this map. Come on. Oh man. All right, in we go. Trail Jackson Woodsy, Junjo, Taquito, Flasho. Will this once again be Taquito with like a 99.8 AC FC and a loss? It's Victor Crumb. He is the Victor Crumb of New York. He catches the snitch, but they lose anyway. Yes, I can go between, I don't know, Harry Potter and League of Legends or like analogies. Why not?
Might as well. Flash Show did find an early miss there. Gonna keep up the accuracy though, so score is gonna stay in New York's favor for now.
Waiting for actually more misses out of Flasho. Apparently not looking super comfortable on this. We talked about this map earlier when we saw it, of course, in the last match, and it was you know, it's the kind of map where if you find misses, your team is pretty liable to lose, because this is one of the easier maps. It's one of the more common maps picked for a reason. Teams tend to get good scores on this, so seeing these early misses out of both Junjo and Flasho does not bode super well for New York on this map. Granted, it is NorCal's pick, but they are already up 1 breakpoint, so removing that possibility of a breakpoint here from New York would be pretty big for them. Trail is going to find the miss halfway through, but overall, I mean, they are sitting pretty. Woodsy and Jackson still on the full combos with comparable AC to Taquito. Taquito still with the best AC in the lobby, but again, you know, recovered combos for Junjo and Flasho not going to matter as much now with the miss from Junjo. Flasho finally getting a good recovered combo together after some early shakes and early misses on this map, but with Woodsy and Jackson holding this double FC, the damage is being done pretty quickly right now, almost 300k up for NorCal and climbing going into the last quarter of the map or so. If we don't see a miss from Woodsy or Jackson soon, especially now with that miss from Flasho, I think both of them are going to have to miss, and that is very unlikely. New York probably completely shut out from a win on this map at this point.
Yeah, I think that last miss from Flasho really kind of sealed their fate. Even with a late miss there from Jackson, I just don't see a way back into this with the lead at 400k. Woodsy still okay, all right. Well, Trail Mix is holding a big combo. Taquito will bring this back a little bit on his own. Junjo will help, but it's just too big of a lead at this point in the map.
The miss out of Taquito is going to seal it, and it is going to be 4-1. Trail Mix holding enough combo to close this one out.
And yeah, I mean 340k, 348k. That's again pretty comfortable for NorCal. And again, like Taquito, 99 AC S rank, only top scoring in the lobby, but neither of his teammates gets over 600k. Meanwhile, you have, you know, 950K, 840K, 8750K. Like, NorCal just better as a team, and you can't one-man carry if you don't have, you know, in this stage, you need more backup than Taquito is getting. NorCal putting together really too solid of team scores for New York to have much of a way in.
And really, it is so hard to have those one-person carries until you get to finals, grand final stage, when the maps are much harder and you're not getting potentially 2, 3 FCs on a lot of these maps.
Problem seems to be getting there for New York right now, as unfortunately these early stage matchups, you know, the team performance very important. But that also kind of assumes that NorCal doesn't scale, right? Unfortunately for a lot of other teams, NorCal has some pretty good scaling on their team. That's why they are seed 1, is because their BWS ranks are all very high. They are all very good tournament players and very highly ranked players in general. So a little rough for any team to go against them. New York, no exception to that rule right now. Trying to find a pick that would work for them. I feel like I want to see some aim from New York at this point. Down 4-1, it's something that has been avoided throughout the rest of this match. That and Hard Rock have been avoided.
Yeah.
I feel like a DT1, a Nomad 1, or a Hard Rock 1 would be really solid from New York right now. They have a very good aim roster. If Karyu is missing, then that doesn't work out anymore. But assuming he's here, they have a very good aim roster.
Yeah, and I would like to see a Hard Rock 1 out of them. They have looked good on the Hard Rocks, but of course, like you mentioned, if Karyu is not here, it does fall apart a little bit, and they're going to be going for the free mod 4 instead. And this is really going to be another tapping intensive pick. Very finger control intensive. Definitely not going to be seeing any over modding on this one, I don't think.
You could see Trail Mix hidden Hard Rock, but I don't know if that really counts. Little jump scare free mod for us all. I feel like, again, though, it's just New York picking a map that they expect Taquito to do really well on and hoping for the best.
When you're up against players like Trail Mix, Jackson, and Fire.
I have to assume that Karyu is missing, right? Given that they have avoided aim entirely from the side of New York, and they are picking, you know, what seems like a little bit of a desperate pick strategy, with it just being, you know, the Taquito carry method, right? Also haven't seen Opixe at all in this matchup so far, so those 2 players who we have not seen from New York, neither Karyu nor Opixe, likely to be here at this point. So there's Opixe. All right, well, 1 player missing then, as we still haven't seen Karyu anywhere. I'm glad to be proven wrong about Opixe at the very least, because that does give them a little bit more flexibility. I think, you know, they still aren't going to be picking any aim. I think Karyu is probably pretty critical to that strategy, but at least they have a couple of other players to sub in for the Taquito support squad there on picks like this, where it is definitely going to be Taquito hidden and one of Honbei or Opixe with the Hard Rock, the other with Nomad.
Well, we'll see here as we get into it. There's no way that's right. There's no way that's right.
What do you see on your screen? Because I see normal mods on my screen.
I have Taquito. I have Taquito Hard Rock on my screen.
Oh, I also have Taquito Hard Rock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Taquito Hard Rock, Honbei hidden. Take a look. Trail Mix hidden Hard Rock, and Ches Bananas chain missing one of those early bursts with hidden.
No surprises there.
Taquito Hard Rock. This is the darkest timeline.
Osu Creepypasta embodied with this song in the background.
God, no
Taquito
kidding.
Hard Rock.
I've never seen this before. Like, he goes out for Hard Rock picks. Like, if the other team picks Hard Rock, he doesn't even play them. This is bizarre. But watch, he's gonna FC this now, because of course he is. And NorCal is just literally straight inting.
I mean, it was the same with Utami, right? It was the same with Utami from SoCal. Utami is just the best player on the team, and it's not close, so they put him on Hard Rock because this map is hardest with Hard Rock. It's a really, really difficult mechanics test with Hard Rock.
Yeah, NorCal saw Taquito HR and they are shaking over there. All FC's gone now. They still have Opixite, meanwhile, and Taquito, of course, holding FCs. And the advantage is so massive already for New York. We're almost halfway through the map now. It's not very long. And honestly, unless we see a complete meltdown from New York, I don't see NorCal coming back here. They're so far behind.
Yeah, this gets to the point of unwinnable very quickly, unless New York just 3 resets in the same instant, and it happens ASAP. Otherwise, this is just goners. Okay, well, I guess the Taquito Hard Rock tech is too strong. My mortal eyes and my small, feeble brain simply were not able to comprehend it, but it was actually the play of a century. Does this have a Hard Rock FC yet? I don't actually know. Let me go look. Probably not, right?
In this round, I
No, it does not.
think so.
He is, oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong, no, I'm looking at the right thing.
No, best
Yeah,
Hard
this
Rock
is-
score so far is a 730k.
Oh, whoops. I'm editing the wrong sheet. I can't edit this sheet. Yeah, he's 730k, and he's already above that by quite a bit. Unless he like chokes, this is going to be the first Hard Rock FC, and with good act too. I mean, 98 act is pretty solid.
Yeah, he just made it look easy.
This is like the most one-sided map we've had in this match, right? Like 900k. That was not even like, you can't stretch the definition of the word close to make it include what just happened.
It's nothing. New York just pushed NorCal off. they just jumped off. NorCal just jumped off. That's I don't know. I mean, they 450k for both Ches and Fiery on that map. Unfortunately, Fiery not feeling the effects of the setup debuff maybe on that map.
That's, man, I don't know. I'm a little, my mind has been blown ever so slowly. That's actually the new top score on the map due to the higher Hard Rock mod multiplier. Like, that's #1 on Free Mod 4. There were a couple of hidden FCs before, but since that was the first Hard Rock FC, it beats them. Since it had good enough act, that's all right. Well, NorCal next pick, still up 4-2, still have the breakpoint in their pocket, and it was consolidated, so it's not like any crazy danger. And they go GT1 because they want to continue playing stuff that is fast. So it's going to be Svidania vid tramvaje. I have no idea how you actually pronounce that. My Russian is non-existent.
Yeah, I'm not even going to try. We are finally going to be getting some aim here. Now, New York, of course, does have some solid aim lineups, but maybe not on the DT specifically. They really have been avoiding this pool.
This is the first aim map, or relatively aim map, like we've had all night, right? I mean, there wasn't really any aim picked in SoCal versus Washington. I think that's maybe the just less popular stuff in this pool in general, I guess. Like, Nomad 1 has 2 picks, Hidden 1 has 1 pick, Hard Rock 1 has a bunch of picks. So maybe that, I guess, is the aim map of this pool. But NorCal just continuing to pick stuff that will put New York kind of on the back foot beyond Taquito, and also continuing to pick stuff that doesn't have to have Fiery Rage for them to put up good scores.
They're just going to be sticking with their tried and true DT lineup here, Jackson and Woodsy. Finally seeing Kiryu for the first time as well this match.
Well,
New York.
aim player?
Yeah, I think New York desperately needs this breakpoint.
Yes. If NorCal wins this, it's 5-2, and that's just no fun trying to come back from. You have to win, you know, depending on the direction, like 2 breakpoints and a pick of your own, or vice versa. And it looks like Taquito may not be connected.
Oh yeah, he
so
has
I
asked
think we need
for
an abort here.
an abort. Yeah.
Yeah. Bancho, our favorite server on which to conduct tournaments, strikes once again.
Would not be a tournament match without Bancho striking.
He was tabbed out and it didn't start. Huh. That's a new one.
Yeah,
it's
you can
it's
just,
whatever.
Tab back in.
It's whatever. Takedo-kun just tabbed out.
I hate Osu. All right. I'm so done. It's 11:15 at night. Get me out. NorCal, win this map. Take it home already. Oh my god.
All right, we're in. It's good.
Keto is doing the thing.
Yeah, this is going to be another one where Takedo has a really good showing, and it's up to his team to back him up. And NorCal will probably have a pretty good team score regardless of, number of FCs.
Yeah, I don't know that this GT1 is really one of those solo carry maps that Takedo can just carry the team on. But we'll see.
Well, there goes Junjo. So we are going to potentially be finding out the answer.
And not off to a great start. And it's such a short map that's actually going to put New York really far behind here, almost halfway through now. Junjo going to be score capped at about 600, 700k, even if they cannot see the rest of the map.
Karyu suffering for the accuracy a bit, 96 versus all three high 99s, like 99.5 or above for all three members of NorCal, and there goes Karyu, and it's once again all up to Takedo, and once again it won't matter what he does because his opponents have a triple FC with all equal or better hack to him. NorCal, as it turns out, Trail Mix just dropped a bunch of hundreds, that's unfortunate, but NorCal, as it turns out, is pretty good at mechanics. I know this comes as a surprise to everyone, as Woodsy under-aims a note, and Jackson misses as well, but the damage has long since been done.
Yeah, this is already 500k or so for NorCal. Probably still gonna stay around that 500k mark. Trail Mix with good accuracy. Takedo with better act, but again, doesn't matter because you cannot just rely on Takedo to carry these maps for you. He misses the very last note of the map, as do several other people. Trail Mix actually the only full combo, all things said and done, on that map, given the miss on the very last note from Takedo. But yeah, that's a good score for NorCal once again, just under 500k score, and they don't have next pick, but it is match point already. New York with 2 picks remaining, NorCal with 1 pick remaining, and New York has to win all 3 of them if they want to force this tiebreaker.
And Takedo and Trail Mix just put down the top 2 scores on that map for the week by a pretty decent margin because there were no FCs previously. And certainly nobody with 99.5 AC either. So, this could be it. New York down to the wire. Possibly their last pick in the winner's bracket. I don't know what they have left that they're going to feel comfortable with.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like they have a lot of picks left here. There is, of course the whole Hard Rock pool is still open, but they haven't touched it yet. I'm not sure that they will now. You could try going for a free mod, but I don't think they feel favored on the free mods either.
Yeah, well, they're gonna try Hard Rock 3, so they're gonna risk the just mash and get combo and don't worry about your AC Hard Rock pick, which is risky for a team that has been just kind of missing on stuff, but you're just kind of hoping for a good RNG run for your team, I suppose, at this point, because what else is there when the opponents are as strong as NorCal has been, and there isn't anything else that would really be comparable to the free mod 4 that you did so well on. We forget that was 2 maps ago, 1 map ago, I guess, in a sense, that they were winning that by 900,000 points. And we already just feel like they don't have anything else that they can replicate that with.
No, just a small bump in the road for NorCal, and they are right back to it, hoping to finish this one off on Hard Rock 3.
Yeah, this is, like I said, I mean, it really is just which team has better combo gamers. There's nothing in this that you're going to miss on. If you miss, you just sort of lose pretty quickly, much like we talked about kind of on a couple of the other maps. This is just get an 800k FC and hope that, you know, that's good enough. So we'll see which of the teams is better at that, but it's felt like NorCal in general has been stronger at just keeping combo. You know, we saw players like Flasho and Hanbei kind of struggling and missing just at random intervals on picks they've been in for.
Yeah, and it seems like, you know, despite Takedo's best effort, New York just does not have the supporting combo on any of these maps to match NorCal's consistency. Should it be getting into the map now? Potentially the last one of the night.
Yeah, Takedo has played all 7 maps so far, and he has top scored 6 of them. And his team is losing 5-2.
Yep, Takedo certainly has his work cut out for him in these next, well, 4 maps if they want to have any hope of winning here. And unfortunately, they are going to need a little bit more than Takedo, so pressure is going to be on Hanbei and Kiryu to perform on this one. A very short map as well.
Yeah, they did get an early breakout of Trail Mix in the first, like, 20 combo.
But it's so early that it just doesn't matter as long as Trail Mix recovers.
Usually this map is decided by a miss somewhere in the middle rather than at the start. As long as that player who missed at the start is able to come back, it doesn't really matter all too much. And the accuracy as well for NorCal is a little bit better on this map than for New York. Hanbei finding that miss in the middle for New York. And that might just be it. We have yet to see a return miss from North California. If any of them are going to miss, it's probably during one of these aim sections during this part of the map, as this is a very easy place to find drops, but nobody dropping still for NorCal. This is already a 200,000 score lead for them, despite the early miss from Trail Mix. It just doesn't matter at all. Yeah, Jackson's ACK is ridiculous.
Jackson's
98
ACK
so far.
How do you get 98.5 on this?
So good, and realistically, we're going to need to see a 3-way miss within the next 10 seconds if New York wants any chance here.
There's one.
There goes one, but there's
and there goes two.
There's 2. Jackson, though, holds on. It is going to keep them in the score lead. It is going to go back slowly, but I don't think there's enough time as long as Jackson holds.
There's a decent amount of combo left. It's not a ton, but it should be enough just because it's a triple it's 2 FCs and a decent combo against 1 FC and not a lot backing up. This is going to go over. And there it goes on those sliders.
And into the slow sliders, New York will actually take it. Hold on for one more map.
New York got exactly what they needed. We said that they needed NorCal to have a couple of breaks, and NorCal obliged 2 misses at the worst possible place for Trail Mix and Fiery Rage, and New York puts a 3rd point on the board, and they're going to say, okay, NorCal, you guys have to close this out on your own.
Really solid scores from both Karyu and Von Lycaon. 95 AC for Takedo, 93 AC for Karyu. Unfortunately, Jackson's 98 accuracy going to waste there for North California.
Stupid.
That is such a good score, but carry syndrome, I suppose, as he finds himself on the other end of the... I don't know. He finds himself in the same situation as Takedo on a lot of the maps, carrying and not able to convert the point anyway.
I'm just looking at the leaderboard. Topoi got a 99 AC on that map.
Yes, he did.
That is true.
How?
He hit the notes within the 300 window.
I'm banning you. Goodbye.
Too bad I'm your streamer.
How do you get 99 AC on that, though? What?
Yeah, Jackson did get the number 2 overall score so far, only behind Topoi, of course, with the 99. Are you going to be getting a Fremont 3 pick from NorCal?
We do get to find out who their hidden player is for this. Let's go. I was really wondering this whole time after we had that discussion earlier.
Will it be Trail Mix? We'll find out shortly.
This match is now tied our closest match for the week, by the way, with a team putting up 3 points at a minimum.
The real question is, do we see Taquito HR for a second time?
On this one, boy, I don't know. That's a good question. This map is like relatively dense, so I mean, Hard Rock kind of helps with that compared to Hidden, which is always going to be pretty difficult on these sorts of things.
But then the question is, do they have anyone else who can play Hard Rock on this pick?
Junjo, maybe? Does he play this fast of maps? I'm not sure.
Sure, right.
It's probably Junjo and Flasho again. That was their speed roster for DT2. We see Honbei in the lobby though, so maybe Honbei subbing in for Flasho. He looked the least comfortable on Double Time 2 earlier.
Speaking of which, where has Flasho gone?
The Nether.
We saw him on like the first few picks, like, and he played the first, what?
Oh, there he is.
5?
Yeah, back in now. And honestly, with this lineup, I'd imagine it's probably going to be, it is probably going to be Taquito on the Hard Rock.
What's he saying? Map is low-key easier Hard Rock.
Oh.
I
It's
kind of
a
had that thought
very
too.
witchy thing to say.
I mean, I can see where he's coming from. I do think this is easier Hard Rock than Hidden. Stuff like this usually is. Nomad versus Hard Rock is a different matter, though. So we've got Trail Mix Hidden, Jackson Hard Rock, Woodsy Nomad, and then Taquito back on Hidden. But they're over-modding. That is bold. Honbei and Taquito both on Hidden with Flasho on Hard Rock.
Certainly risky. We'll see if it pays off here.
Does Woodsy have Hard Rock on?
Woodsy definitely does have Hard Rock on, and we just need to panic.
Yeah, my client didn't show it either. Like, I'm watching in a separate client, and it didn't do it for me either. That's really wild. I was just watching him playing, like, the wrong side of the screen completely.
Yeah. Well, that is overmod for both sides, actually. Double Hard Rock for NorCal, double Hidden for New York. Early miss for Trail Mix on the side of NorCal, the only Hidden player to find the drop there. Flasho, the only Hard Rock player for New York, finding the drop for them. I don't know. Do you guys think these teams prefer a certain mod? I really can't tell.
Maybe.
There's a small chance.
There is a chance that may be the case. Boy, this is such a risky place to have Flasho in. I just feel like he was having so much trouble in the maps he was playing earlier in the match. Like, he was having real consistency issues, and now down match point, having to put him in is, like, kind of scary, unless he has really gotten it together since then.
It's scary, but if you don't have anyone else, it's all you can do. And keep in mind as well, these NorCal Hard Rock FCs are going to be worth more than the Hidden FCs on New York. Jackson is going to be dropping the FC. Going to be giving New York a window back into this match, but Flasho needs to hold on to the combo.
Oh, and there goes Woodsy as well. And after this section, it's just free combo into the ending. And that score is going to go.
Yeah, all three players drop on NorCal, and everybody from New York holds. The scorebar is going to flip back over so quickly, and like you said, it should be free combo for the rest of this map. And it looks like New York is going to be taking this.
The comeback is real, or what? New York taking advantage of the misses from NorCal. Taquito leading the way once again, closes out the Hidden FC. Honbei and Flasho put up good scores behind him. That ended up being not close because of the way the score works, and it just kind of balloons at the ending, but it was pretty close until then. Also, 300 points separating Woodsy and Honbei, 7-3-7 on both. And New York now only 1 point away from forcing tiebreaker. They get their own last pick. This is why you pick second sometimes. You get your own map to try to send to TB. The question is, of course, what that map ends up being. But goodness me, I don't think it felt like this was going to happen.
Yeah, and if they manage to bring it to tiebreaker, New York will have won the last two picks and will have the momentum going into tiebreaker. Can sometimes affect the mental. So we'll see if that helps them out at all. Of course, they do have to get to tiebreaker, and their chosen method of reaching tiebreaker is going to be a free mod 2.
I was gonna say, looking at the rest of the picks for New York through this match, you see low approach rate, flow aim, flow aim, flow aim. Well, the only thing that matches those are no mod 5 and free mod 2, really. And Fremont 2 hits both of those at the same time, so I definitely think this is a solid pick for them. You have a very, very good hard rock player in Karyu coming in for this map. You have both Takedo and Junjo in for it for New York as well. I think this is a really solid pick for them. Additionally, the hard rock precision player that NorCal would usually want in for this map in Fiery Rage is not on a good setup. I think that this is a really solid pick for them. They can have Trail Mix go hidden hard rock and it'll still be good, but I think their first pick would usually be to have somebody else come in for this one. It is going to be probably Fiery Nomad on this, I would have to assume, and Trail Mix hidden hard rock with the Ches hidden. It's like the only mod combination that makes sense. You don't want Fiery playing CS 6.5 from a shaky setup. So definitely having him stay on no mod or hidden is the move, and I feel like Ches is probably better off on the hidden given all that we know. This is not an easy map for New York to win. Like, this 3-player roster from NorCal is really, really solid on this sort of map. But definitely, I think, a good pick for them and something that has been working for them. That is the Easy mod from Junjo, by the way. Easy does have a 2x multiplier in this tournament, so there is no downside score-wise to going Easy over no mod.
This is like not a super easy favored Fremont 2 like the previous ones have been. This is way harder with Easy comparatively. They're taking a big risk here, I think, with that one. But if he's super comfortable with Easy, then it's reasonable. And it's gonna be Trail Mix, the first to break. Is it a sign of things to come the rest of this map?
It could be. New York certainly is going to hope so, and keep in mind New York is going to be farther ahead than the score shows because you do have to multiply Jeonju's score by 2. And New York going to be pretty happy early on. This is a fairly long map though, so not going to be too big of a lead yet. Shay is going to miss. And we're far enough into the map now that those combos are really going to start to matter. Kiryu is going to trade it back on the Hard Rock. And keep your eyes on these hidden / no mod players, because I think we have seen that Hard Rock does tend to be the harder pick on this map. So not really expecting to see any massive scores out of either of the Hard Rock players. Fire Rage now, last FC down for NorCal. It is just Trail Mix left with a big combo, whereas we have Takedo, Junshu still holding strong, and they're showing no signs of stopping. Look at the accuracies on both of those players.
Who would have thought? From 5-2 down, New York would be in a position where they're now at 5-4 down and leading their final pick to try and force tiebreaker by a couple 100,000 points. Once you add in Junjo's score, he does break. But if the lead is in their favor in the first place, that means the lead is in their favor by a lot once you have the Easy taken into consideration. This could still get interesting as the scores and the combos start to get bigger and bigger. If Karyu or Takedo breaks, you never know. But instead it's Trail Mix. That's the wrong person to have break for NorCal.
The worst person you could have break. I mean, Shay and Fire Rage are starting to recover, but on Shay drops.
Shay Bananas.
I'm pretty sure it is actually.
It's literally Ches. It's literally Ches. Don't worry.
No.
But that's New York up by nearly 100,000 points, which means they're up by almost 300,000 points.
Yeah, plus 200k for Jeonju, and as per usual, it is just Takedo holding the FC. Just so strong for New York. Probably going to be top scorer in another map here.
Wow.
As
well, Takedo breaks. But
finds the miss, but I think it's going to be a little too late. I don't think it matters, and it looks like this is just going to be a pretty decisive point for New York.
If Karyu breaks and Fiery Rage FCs the rest, then it'll be kind of close. But that would be the only way for it to happen, and even still, you've got the extra 220k for Junjo. But they're in the lead in the first place, so it won't even matter. This is wild. I mean, Fremont 2 is the last pick with an Easy, and it's working, and they're going to win it before the Easy score even comes into consideration to force the tiebreaker as our first TB of the week. I mean, the script is there, I guess.
Yeah, extremely solid play from New York on this one. And I mean, Karyu and Taquito both just got 700k on that. They outscore every member of NorCal by themselves. They don't quite 2v3, but you only need 270k from Junjo to win that, and then you get another 270k on top of that. That is a very, very solid run for the New York squad. And now we get our first tiebreaker of the weekend on our last winners bracket quarterfinals matchup. It is Get On by Usao, mapped by Sion Kotori. This is pretty standard Usao stuff. 204 BPM, 5 minutes long, a little bit dense actually. AR 9.4. So maybe a map that kind of favors the team that's a little bit better on reading. You have your typical bursty, streamy sections, your typical slider aim in this map as well, though. So potentially some of the members of New York who do struggle with that speed and stamina, but are good on the reading, might have a little bit of a hard time with this map, and vice versa for North California.
And from 5-2, tiebreaker, really off the back of Taquito here. And I do think these long tiebreakers are the kinds of maps where you can see these big solo carries out of certain players, and so gonna want to watch out for Taquito here.
Yeah, and like, knowing what we know about Taquito, this is a Taquito map, and this map is pretty difficult. This is the sort of thing that he can really make a little more favored to New York than it probably would be otherwise. I don't know that a lineup of Woodsy, Fiery Rage, Trail Mix on a map like this necessarily inspires fear in the hearts of their enemies, especially with Fiery Rage on a different setup.
And sight reading.
Meanwhile, you've got Taquito, Opixe, and Hanbei, which is like also kind of a I don't know what to make of this roster once you get past Taquito. And we need an abort, I guess. I don't know. I literally have no idea. He just... if offset is wrong, okay, this is just typical Fiery Rage bullshit. I sorry, but this is just typical Fiery Rage bullshit.
He smashes us too hard and changed his offset.
This is exactly what happened last year, by the way. If you recall the tiebreakers that they played against Massachusetts.
At least he did it 5 seconds in instead of 90 seconds.
Yeah, he didn't wait till halfway through the map this time around.
Good.
Last time he waited till, like, literally, what? It was, like, seriously a minute and a half, 2 minutes in. At least this time he did it in the first, like, 10 seconds.
It's forgivable, at least this time around.
It's a little more forgivable.
It's still kind of BS, but at least it's forgivable.
Yeah.
It's like 5 seconds of wasted time instead of, a minute and a half where it's like, no, we're not restarting the map. What do you mean?
Yeah.
But, all right, well,
man.
yeah.
All right, here we go again. Second tries the charm.
Are going to be getting Taquito on the comfort hidden.
Yeah, he's a hidden pref mod player of all hidden pref mod players. No surprise there. He has a very good score on this on Bancho, I know. See if he can replicate something like that in a much more tense scenario, as Fire Rage finds a couple of early breaks.
Yeah,
not what you want to see.
Not working out so far.
Darn. You hate to see it. Woodsy and Trail Mix are starting off fine. They both have good accuracy, keeping the FC's attack. Taquito with the first miss for New York. That's not what they want either.
It certainly isn't, but this is a very long map, and we are very early on. We still have not gotten into the hard part of the map we are coming up to now, so this is where we're going to start to see some real breaks of the players, and this is where we can hopefully, for New York, start to see Taquito really take over. But if you're NorCal, you just need to get as many combos as you can through this section.
This is the Taquito part right now. All slider aim. Not much else going on during this section of the map.
This is just Usao. This is just Usao the map.
Yeah, actually. Looking to potentially NorCal to miss during these types of the map, right? During these sections where you are kind of looking at Taquito to be the player for New York during these parts. Given the density, given that this is less up their alley, but nobody missing so far during this part of the map for North California. Everybody holding. Hanbei actually finding the drop instead, and this is not very good for New York. You're really going to have to bank on a big combo for Taquito, and a lot of members of NorCal dropping. Opixe's still holding the FC, luckily, for New York as well. So there are 2 big combos left, but Fiery's on a better combo than Taquito to boot for NorCal right now.
Yeah, this needs to be a couple breaks for NorCal at this point for New York to have a chance, and they look very comfortable with the map, judging by the accuracy.
They look so good, and there's so much pressure on Opixe now because you see the combos on the side of NorCal. Taquito is not going to be able to solo carry this realistically unless we see massive drops out of NorCal, and so Opixe needs to be there as well, but it's hand bait finding another miss, whereas NorCal still holding into the next slider aim section though. Oh, hand bait is just chain missing. The accuracy is so good for all of these NorCal players as well.
There's the big break out of Woodsy. Oh, but Taquito follows it up. That was unaffordable for New York. It's only halfway through, but that's so bad for them.
Halfway through as well is that notoriously bad place to miss in any map in Standard. It just cuts your score down so much. Opixe now the only hope for New York right now. He basically has to FC. Trail is still on a full combo for NorCal. Fiery Rage has only missed once right at the start of the map. Less than 100 combo in. So these are 2 really big combos for NorCal, which basically have to miss right about here during this next section if Opixe wants any chance of bringing this back. This is already 200,000 score plus for NorCal. No combo on Taquito or Honbei at the moment to try and stage a comeback. Trail and Fiery just look so comfortable. Good ack on both of them, and neither of them showing any real shakes at the moment either.
New York is going to need 2 misses, and they're going to need them soon. Time is running out, but it's Honbei just chain missing
and
all over again.
Stay.
That is just going to be it,
over.
I think.
Yeah, it's over. What a shame for New York after that big comeback from 5-2 down to force the tiebreaker. But Trailmix still on the FC, just looking too strong, and Fiery Rage, early break doesn't matter, comes back from it and puts together a massive combo. There's just nothing New York can do anymore.
I will say solid mental from NorCal to recover from the comeback, right? Losing 3 in a row to a team that is much lower seeded than you can really put the fear of God into some teams, and you know, despite the misses, I don't think it matters at all. There's just no time left. No. But point stands. I mean, they had a fantastic recovery here in the tiebreaker with Trail and Fiery putting up over 700k each, not being heavily shaken by the fact that New York was able to force them to this tiebreaker point, right? Take the break point, win 2 of their own, and get here. Commendable stuff from New York, but really solid from NorCal, and reassuring as the first seed that they have the fortitude to do that and to recover on the tiebreaker.
Yeah, NorCal really last of the old guard teams in the winners bracket, still going to be taking on Florida, Washington, and the Iowa, Massachusetts winner. That match is going to be Wednesday at 3 UTC, last match of the round.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one, but it's got a lot to live up to now. We've seen Washington with the upset over SoCal, and of course this one, which is our first close match of the entire week. We had 2 6-3s, but this is our first match to go to 6-4 or farther, and it does give us our first tiebreaker. And that tiebreaker ends up being a ridiculous performance from Trailmix and Fiery Rage, and I mean Woodsy as well, with a gigantic 1200 combo that, you know, just helped them build the lead. Even if it didn't necessarily help them close it out at the end, it certainly helped them build up the lead. And on goes NorCal. NorCal, Florida. That's like a matchup we have seen happen, at least once or twice, right, in the past. Usually gives us a pretty solid match, and I hope that this one will be the same.
Same here. That is a matchup I am excited for to see Florida versus NorCal. Florida, of course, winning last year over both SoCal and Virginia. NorCal this time around a lot stronger than last year, it seems, as they are able to make their way to the winter semis intact. Good luck to New York in the losers bracket as well. We will see them face off next weekend against Ohio.
God,
that's an unlucky bracket,
dude,
man.
This losers bracket is Carolina versus Texas, New York versus Ohio, Georgia, who has looked absurd against SoCal, and then the Iowa-Massachusetts loser against New Jersey. Like, this losers bracket is so loaded as well. You get down to, like, the top, 12 teams, and as it turns out, they're all pretty good.
They are all pretty good. It makes every match that much more interesting, that much more exciting, especially as we saw in these last couple matches. Can only hope that the next one lives up to it. It's Iowa versus Massachusetts 2 days from now at 3 UTC Wednesday, I believe. So that's Tuesday night, 11 p.m. Eastern. Tune into that one if you happen to have the free time at 11 p.m. in Eastern time, 8 p.m. Pacific. That's all we got.
It's going to be on stream, to be honest, but you can, I don't know, find a player. I'll try to find maybe players who are streaming their POV to at least show. But yeah, we have map pool showcase and schedules and stuff tomorrow, so you want to be around for those as well. We'll have the semifinals, even though there's still a match left, getting set up tomorrow, so don't miss out on that. I hope everybody enjoyed this weekend, man. I know a lot of these matches were really one-sided, but we still saw some really, really good performances from a lot of players on a bunch of different teams. So it was still a pretty good time, I think, despite a lot of matches being 6-0, 6-1 type of scenarios. So that's gonna do it. I've been T1G, they've been Dio, and iFlame. We thank you all for watching and for being here for quarterfinals weekend, and we will see you next time. Have a great night.